The Adventurers Guild is something we created to help those wanting to gain enough strength to leave the underground cities. Melody looked up towards the world that was left behind. Tanaka's ears perked at the mention of being able to leave the underground city. How is that even possible? I've seen those monsters and how easily they tore through our military forces. Are you saying that we'd be able to survive an encounter with those monsters? Seeing that Tanaka and others were interested, Melody smiled. Not only would you be able to survive, but you'd also be able to thrive in the new world. There's even a chance that you'd be able to help rescue those who didn't know about this place. It dangled the idea of rescuing survivors in front of them. Sensing that there were more questions that were getting ready to bubble out of them, Melody said, "If you're interested in the Adventurers Guild, how about I take you to it?" "We can go?" Mizuki's face brightened as though excited about the idea of seeing more of the underground city. Pointing to the city below them, Kawa asked, "Is it down in that area?" Melody shook its head. "It's far below the underground city. We try to keep the two areas separated to respect each of their desire for privacy. Though, if you were to stay in the city that's below us, you'd eventually be able to see advertisements talking about the guild." Turning its body, Melody said, "If you'd follow me, I can take you to the Adventurers Guild." The robot led the way on the path that was above the city. As they followed Melody, they would periodically glance at what they witnessed below them. What Tanaka noticed was that the city was far denser than the capital. But even though there were plenty of buildings, compared to what was in the underground city, it wasn't a fair comparison. Even the architecture had an advanced and more modern appearance. Checking out the buildings, Tanaka noticed that vines or some type of vegetation grew on the outside. It gave the impression that the city was alive, instead of just being cold concrete and steel. The plant life really does help give a sense of relaxation, different from a city that we're used to, Tanaka thought. There's also no toxic fumes and such that always bothered me slightly. She breathed in the air and thought it was nearly as clean as what she took in on the floor above them. Tanaka thought about the other underground cities, not just in the nation, but also in other countries. Based on Melody's words, it felt as though the other cities were different due to some other factor. Our country has some coastal cities, so would the underground city in those locations take on more oceanic feel? Tanaka wondered. Noticing how they were slowing down, Tanaka pulled herself out of her thoughts. In front of them was something that looked like an elevator, but compared to the elevator that they had used before, this one was nearly all glass. The doors on the front smoothly slid open. "We'll be taking this to the city below us, and then continue. If you ever want to enjoy the view, feel free to take this back up here. On the other side, there's an observation deck where you can relax." Melody pointed where they came. "I anticipated that upon hearing about the Adventurers Guild, you'd have an interest in seeing it, which is why I didn't take us to the observation area." It smiled at them.